I wanted to say this for a very long time, so here it goes. Biohacking is one big fat lie. Now, I've been following this industry since about 2015 or so, and I've been following the most famous biohackers for a very, very long time. And what is happening in this industry right now, it is just gross, so we need to speak about it. Hey friends, and welcome to Your Inceptions channel. My name is Greg and I'm the founder of this channel, and here we cover everything from biohacking, brain supplements to psychedelics, so if this interests you, then be sure to subscribe to my channel below. Now, I know you probably know what biohacking is, but still, biohacking kind of involves all activities that help people improve their cognition, improve their well-being, their health, and help with longevity or anti-aging. Now, to be honest, there is no real hacking happening, right? I mean, it is mainly optimizing our performance or our health to achieve certain results. So the word biohacking is not completely correct, but since it attracts masses nowadays, we will stick to it. Now, today there are tens or even hundreds of popular biohackers around the world that share their hacks every single day that should help you improve your performance or your well-being. But what they actually do in real life is they help you optimize your performance. So they're not real hacks, they're optimizations, and some of those optimizations can be very helpful, can really help you improve certain aspects of your performance or well-being or your health, but some can be actually quite dangerous. Now, I've been following this trend of self-proclaimed biohackers for a very long time, and it is really crazy to see how certain people, certain influential biohackers change their stories, their beliefs, change the narrative, and what they're doing is absolutely crazy, so that's why we're talking about it. Now, to an unexperienced eye, biohackers are a salvation to all human problems. But if you know at least a little bit about human biology, they are no more than charlatans that they don't even sell snake oil. What they often sell are pure lies. And those lies can be quite dangerous to you. And that's why we're going to talk about three main problems I see today with biohacking industry and biohackers. By the way, which is your favorite biohacker? Let me know in the comment section below. So the first problem that I see is that biohackers often make lies. So they simply lie. They make a statement that is completely false. But since such a statement is often so shocking, it goes viral. And because it goes viral, it brings clicks and views and followers, and that's what makes people money. Now, I have found hundreds of examples, but I decided to show one, a recent one, from Dave Asprey, the father of biohacking. Biohacking itself. It is such a great example that I want to share with you. So let's see what Dave said about brown rice when he compared it to white rice.
Yeah, white rice, not brown. Brown rice is bad for you.
God, it's like the complete opposite of everything that we learn.
That's because some guy in the 70s was like, because fiber.
Yeah.
Brown rice has a whole bunch of lectins, it shreds your gut, and it's got 80 times more arsenic than white rice. That's why every rice eating culture on the planet peels their rice unless you're too poor to peel your rice. So the fact that some kind of self-loathing long distance runner in the 70s told you to eat a whole bunch of fiber and whole foods, whatever that means, it doesn't work. That's what made me fat. I was also a raw vegan, by the way. Like, I was a devout vegan.
You've done the whole thing.
Yeah, it gave me worse arthritis, it gave me more autoimmunity, it gave me terrible joint pain, it broke teeth. 80% of people go vegan quit because it makes them sick and it can take years to recover. So don't do that.
So firstly, brown rice doesn't have 80 times more arsenic than white rice. According to this study, it has only 1.5 times the levels of arsenic than white rice. So this is not 80 times, Dave, it is 1.5 times more. Now imagine him making a video in which he says, hey, brown rice has 1.5 times more arsenic than white rice. I mean, that's not gonna go viral, will it? And that's why he doesn't do that. But since brown rice is generally considered much healthier than white rice, because it is unprocessed rice, this statement is so more shocking, and that's the kind of content that goes viral on social media nowadays. Sadly, this is just a pure lie. But that's not even the biggest problem. And that's what gets us to the second point. Biohackers often don't talk about the important things. What they really like to talk about are things that don't really matter. Let me give you the same example based on what Dave Asprey said. So 99.9% of people don't care about arsenic levels in brown or white rice, to be honest, right? They don't even care about the healthy foods in general. So why do you talk about arsenic levels in brown rice or white rice if most people don't even care about eating healthy? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. And people like myself like to listen to Dave Asprey and people like that because we want to live a healthy life. But even to me, it doesn't matter how much arsenic is in brown rice or white rice. What matters to me is whether brown rice or white rice are healthy. That's basically it. Now, real scientists, not bioquacks, they rank foods from less healthy to more healthy. So it's kind of food is, placed in a certain range. It's not about this is unhealthy and this is healthy. No. Usually it is the dosage that makes the poison, right? And this is very, very important when it comes to arsenic levels in brown rice, for example. So we know that 140 milligrams to 1,400 milligrams of arsenic is the deadly dosage. So we want to eat less than that, right? So let's go with the lowest level. So let's say that 140 milligrams is the dosage that we need to be aware of. We need to intake a lower level than 140 milligrams of arsenic to be on the safe side. If 1 kilogram of brown rice has about 200 parts per 1 billion of arsenic, and if we use the number 200 here, so this is the highest number that comes from studies, we know that one would have to eat 700 kilograms or 1,500 pounds of brown rice to potentially die from that. So we need to kind of stay below that. Can you do it? Now, since we know that the half-life of arsenic is 4 to 6 hours and it is excreted in the urine, but it takes in general up to a whole week to get arsenic out of your body, this means that you need to eat less than 700 kilograms or 1,500 pounds of brown rice per week to stay in the safe zone. And this is, very exaggerated. This is a very conservative logic and calculation here. So the question for you is, can you eat less than 700 kilograms of brown rice? Who could eat so much brown rice in a week? I mean, this is absolutely insane. So from that example, we know that arsenic in brown rice is not a real problem. It's not even a thing to talk about. Now imagine Dave making a video and saying, hey, brown rice and white rice are healthy, so you can eat them as much as you can. Now that's for sure not gonna go viral, right? Now, before we go to the third problem, I'm sure there's going to be at least one person in the comments who's going to say, yeah, Greg, you're talking about the deadly or the lethal dosage of arsenic. But, what is kind of at the lowest level of arsenic that is still safe to have in your body? Now, of course, I looked at the studies, and this level is somewhere around 5 milligrams. So if you have less than 5, or if you contain less than 5 milligrams of arsenic, you should have no issues with that, because at 5 milligrams you get the poisoning from arsenic. So if we calculate again, and we are very conservative here, you need to eat less than 25 kilograms or about 55 pounds of brown rice per week to stay on the safe side. Can you do it? I mean, I usually eat about 200 grams of white rice per week, up to half a kilo, that's maximum. But this is 25 kilograms per week to be on a completely safe level and far away from any kind of poisoning from arsenic. Now you see why it is so unimportant to talk about the level of arsenic in brown rice if you actually look at the data. But that's not even the biggest problem. If you look at the studies, you know that people who consume more brown rice, they are healthier, because eating brown rice can improve diabetes, can improve heart disease, and so on. And we know this from high quality studies. And this is what gets us to the third problem. Self-proclaimed biohackers often cite low-quality studies, or they even talk about anecdotes. And Dave Asprey is a perfect example of that. I still remember his comment way back when he said, when he was on a plant-based diet, he had so many issues with health and so on, where we know nowadays from very high-quality studies that this is one of the most optimal diets for human beings. So it wasn't the plant-based diet itself. It was his poor planning that made the issues. And what he did is he used one anecdote, his own story, instead of looking at the high-quality human studies that are actually available. So every serious researcher will look at the totality of evidence available. And we know there's a hierarchy of quality research. On the top we have meta-analysis and systematic reviews of multiple studies. Then there are randomized controlled trials. Then there are the cohort studies or the observational studies. Then we have animal studies, and then we have in vitro studies. And at the bottom, we have individual case reports. And I can say that anecdotes are even below that. And what every serious researcher will tell you is when you have a higher quality data available, what is below that, so lower quality data, doesn't make any sense, right? Especially when you have meta-analysis of multiple studies. So I remember one example with when there was a meta-analysis of 300 studies, and then there was one study, one single low-quality study, who kind of tried to disprove all the 300 studies that have been done before. And that's just not how science works. Now, I'm not saying that science is perfect. We don't have all the research available, but when there is so much data available, don't even try or don't even bother to talk about one single anecdote, but first look at the totality of evidence presented, then you can present your anecdote, and then people will decide what matters most. But you know, if you have tons of evidence available, and this means high quality evidence, then you need to use tons of new high quality evidence to dispute this initial quality evidence. And that's just how science works. But if you're trying to make a certain point, if you try to get views and clicks, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna make a stupid comment that has, you know, there's no reality in that, it's pure lie, it's false, it's, you know, it's a scam, because that is what's gonna go viral, that's what's gonna bring clicks and views, and that's what's gonna make you money. And this is just wrong. Now, luckily, there's still people out there that I trust, that I follow, and they're phenomenal experts, phenomenal researchers that you know, I've been following you for a long time. So if you really care about your well-being, your health, and someone, you know, there's a list up here. You can check it out to see who are the people that I personally trust. Thank you guys for watching this video, and please don't get tricked by biocrackers. Have a good day.